I can find the bloody switch now, I really can't.
Alright, so we have a checklist. First thing says fuel master switch on, guard down. This button here, fuel master, 2 red covers. That would be off. That's on. That's what we want it. We want that cover down. Second thing, engine feed knob. That's this one, engine feed. Want that norm. So left click that, norm. Third thing, EPU switch. If we left click that, goes on. Right click that, norm. Right click again, that's off. We want that norm, so we want that in the middle. Guard down. Engine cont switch. I have no idea what that is. I'm going to skip that. Throttle off. Fourth thing is, well, first thing is throttle off. So make sure your throttles throttle all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom. Make sure your throttle's off. Sixth, landing gear. That's down. Hook. That's that's the hook switch. Make sure that's up. Sorry. So, leave that as is. Master arm. Safe. This button off.
Oh, he said master arm.
Alright, air source knob. This is the most painful thing to try and find in the world, because it is exactly here. It is under this weird thing here. It's there. Left click that. That should be it. Okay, that's the whole verify check. So we're on to the before engine start. Number 1, main power switch. That's on the left side. It's here, main power. Want that to go battery first. Oops. Battery first. And free light should come on. Then we would hold left click this. Some more light should come on. Let go of that. Should go back off. Put that to main power. Communications, I don't know quite about that. The thing it says to check these lights, there's elect system, sec, engine, hydro, and canopy. After all that, you close the canopy, or do that first if there's a noise, a loud noise outside. So this thing is how you close it, but you've got to select there, just there. Left click, canopy will come down, and close. So that is the before engine start. Moving on to starting engine. First things first, start to here, left click, that should go on. Now we want to wait for this to reach above 20%. When that does, take a while. I could speed it up, but never mind. So that's at about 21%. Now what we want to do is go over to our throttle, left shift, plus, 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 and just click here. There's a context button here, not here, just here. Left click that, and our throttle should start, and this percentage should keep rising until it reaches, well, I don't know, but when it reaches 70, you want to just put it to idle, which is 0. So what should I do basically? Reach 70, so left shift, minus, 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 minus. Back to idle. Engine is on. Engine is on, and so these lights aren't here, and these lights aren't here, and these lights aren't here. So engine is on. That is, yeah, that's the starting the engine. Now the engine check, that basically just says that fuel flow should be like there, oil pressure should be about there, that should be about there, that should be about there, etc, etc, and like those two should be there. Now, yeah, I know, I'm recording this, fella. for your own sake.
Cheers, mate.
Right, now we go into after engine start. Test panel is this small panel here. Probe heat, turn that on. Look around. No lights on. Turn that off. Or turn that to test. That should be flashing. That's working. Okay. Off. That's the first test. Now we hold this down. Engine fire. Overheat. That one's working too. Right click it. The lights will go off. Third thing, this button. Yeah, left click it, hold it. Bet you should go through all this shit. All these lights should turn on. Yeah, that's working. Right click it. Changing into the next page. Avionics power panel. Whoops. No. That is this one. The check basically says turn that on, 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 turn that on. Yeah, that's part 2 after engine start. Part 3 after engine start is this panel here. The left and the right thing refer to a type of loadout for your aircraft. So on the right you can put, I think, a camera, and the left is a targeting pod. That's just weapons. You really don't need to worry about that yet. FCR switch, just turn that on. Radar switch, just left click that once for now. That's part 3. Part 4, your HUD is off. This button turns it on. Left click it, increase the brightness. There you go, your HUD's on. Part 5 says CNI knob UFC. CNI knob UFC, that's what he's there. So I don't need to do anything. 6. DTC load. Oh, this is complicated, sort of. I think for this part you go to this panel here, you press FCR, you press DTE, you press load, it goes through all these, and you press DTE again, and that's that, I think. UFC radio, it says set common 1 and 2, so just left click this for, whoops, this should be at both. See these stuff come on. That full, and I think just click that. Yeah, just left click that. That's part 7. 8. I don't know. 9. I don't know that part either. I think it's one of these buttons over here. Just turn your engine to secondary. It should be on, whatever this is. Is that it? No, that's not it. But, okay, that's basically, there's a button over here somewhere which turns your engine to secondary, which will make this 0. Yeah, that's about it. Part 10, now I'm just going through the flight checks, which are incredibly annoying and long-winded, painful. Part 11, FCLS bit. Press this light should come on, throttle up a bit. I think something should happen. Lol. No, I don't know what I'm doing. Who says I should? Oh shit. No. Fuck. Yeah, well, you can just basically take off at that point. The only other things you need to do are, and I shall record this in a second, make sure the speed brake works, which is just flick through all of the, okay, well, I'm recording this again because I died, and I sort of realised how I screwed up part of this tutorial. The bit that says DTC load, I believe, is to do with if you're carrying bombs, there's a button you can press where it's it's like 1 and 3. Let me remember where it was. Fuck. I should probably find this. Here it is. Stores console, Cat 1 and Cat 3. Cat 1 is if you're carrying just anti-air missiles, you can pull 9Gs. Cat 3 is if you have bombs, like, so you don't overstress the airframe. What I want you to do is just turn that to Cat 3 if you have the wrong load, and there should be some kind of warning. I guess not. Just back to Cat 1. Oh, anyway, I'm nearly back to where I was, so I can continue the damn thing. Okay, so just radios. Just radios and that MSD I need to do. The MSD first. DT load. Radios both on. And they should be finished. So just there you go. Where was I at? Speed brake. I've forgotten where the actual indicator is for the speed brake. Anyway, what happens is press 9, Control B, Shift B, sorry. Speed brake will open, speed brake will close. We could just hold B. No, partly open it.
I've had enough, mate.
Alright. I'll just send you the video tomorrow, that'll be easy freaking enough.
Well then, it's just so annoying because it doesn't really explain in too much detail, does it?
Explains in too much detail. Sorry.
Well, yeah, it goes on too much, but it's not clear about exactly what you have to press.
Yeah. Alright, I'll let you finish it.
Which one are you on?
Yeah, I'm just gonna, I'm at part 14, fuel quantity selection object. Basically, this is the fuel thing. Normal, this shows all of your fuel in every tank. Reservoir shows it in the middle, I think. Next one shows it in wing tanks, and then some sort of drop tank. And then basically, what you're supposed to do is check that all of these on their own add up to normal, which they probably do. Then it's EPU fuel quantity. I think there's one of these gauges here. It says EPU fuel quantity. Basically, that shouldn't have changed during all this testing, and it probably hasn't. I forget what that is. Yeah, I'm going to be a good pilot. We probably won't die. Avionics program. This is the actual one that's actually useful. This tells you to go over to this panel here, turn that on, turn that on, turn that on, turn that on, and basically, well, these two, and that'll make the computer fire chaff, fire flares, evade missiles. Depending on which program you select here, it's different. You need to set that up yourself somehow. I don't know either. Don't know quite what this does either, but yeah. Now I'm on to comms. I did that already. Functional display. Okay, that's more complicated than I understand. DBU check, digital backup. This thing, click that. Hold Control Shift. All your flight control should work perfectly. Then turn that off. Did I? I don't know. Trim checks. Basically just check these work. Whatever. Part 19, air refuel checks. There's an air refuel switch, which is gear. Click that. Whoops. Tab that. Click that. And this light should come on. Click that. That light should go off. Yeah. EPU check. Another thing to check. Yay. EPU is here. Turn that on, I believe. That should happen. Take some kind of light. I don't know. Whatever. That's probably fine. Overlog check. I don't know, this is something to do with oxygen. And here's the oxygen panel. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing either. Let's go. I've just gone to before taxi. Landing lights on. Here. Drift go switch. Don't know what that is. Let's check. Don't know what that is. I know switch. This one? Yep. Turn that to nav. Aircraft lights. These lights. Just turn these all on. QHN. This is just before you taxi. What you need to do is radio tower. If I had the radio tower up, I could ask for QHN, which would give me some kind of value, which I would have to input here in this altimeter. See MB here. It'll give you a value for that, and you left click this to increase it. Click it to decrease it. Just make sure they match. This is going to go forever. Then what you do is you call radio tower. You ask them to install the new chocks, and they will take the chocks away if you had the right tower frequency or whatever. In a taxi, you need to press left shift and /. A light will come on here that says ABMWS, and that allows you to forget which controls it was. So I had to change them, and it didn't save the changes. But basically, you could turn the rudder, and that nose wheel would turn at the same time, so you could steer on the ground. Then what you do is you press this on the ejection seat and taxi to the runway. Following following the ATC orders, permissions, stuff like that. Get to the runway, line yourself up, make sure you turn off this thing to turn your wheels, otherwise when you start accelerating you will maybe try and correct with the rudder and it will just cause your plane to tip, roll, smash to the ground, you'll die.
Did you read the manual?
No, I didn't read the manual. I have like a big long list of whatever this is called. It was in the game documents. It was like a big checklist. Oh, yay! Where am I? Am I back to the start? Shit, I'm at the last page and I've probably skipped a hell of a lot of this. God, this doesn't stop, does it? Per page, just switch that on. So you know what, it's all written down for you. Find this in the game documents, go into like launch menu, documents and stuff. I think it's cockpit and something diagrams, F-16 checklists. So something like important checklists. But pretty much this airplane is ready to take off and fly. Turn that off actually. Pretty much this plane's ready to fly. This is all started up, ready to go. Just need to back to the runway and take off. That should be the end of my video. It's probably hectic as I am making all of this up. Well, leaving off checklist, but thank God I'm recording actually. Right, well, I'm taxiing. I just found out that to turn the nose wheel is exactly the same controls as to, you know, turn the rudder. It's quite useful. I want to make sure I don't go too fast. Keep the wrong way. I seem to have forgotten to turn that on. I think I know what you need to do there actually. This thing here, is that power? Yep. It's the last thing I forgot to do. That should really be the end of my tutorial. But I'm going to try and take off. I gotta line myself up the wrong way. Parking brake. Left shift. That. Make sure that light goes off, and then throttle to 95%, I think. A bit more. Yep, back here. Wait for a few seconds. Throttle full. 160. Pull up. Press G. Raise your landing gear. And you're in the air. Woo! I wonder if you can open this from here. Nope, I can get it.